future educators. This is EduElevate Network. Welcome once again. If you have subscribed to the channel, thank you so much. If you have not done so yet, guess what? In today's video, this is going to be a very stress-free breakdown of how to fill out your experience verification form. Now, you may be wondering, what is this? So this is basically a form that's given by the South Carolina State Department of Education that you fill out in home country when you're in the process of seeking these teaching jobs in South Carolina, to be more specific, or in the US at large. But this video is specifically for your experience verification in South Carolina. Now, did you know that how you fill out your experience verification form can actually impact your salary scale? So it is very, very important to make sure that you take keen interest in filling it out correctly and right, so that it reflects your experience, and that definitely will affect or reflect in the pay scale that you will be put in for your salary when you eventually begin working as a teacher in the US. So that's right, this form isn't just a paperwork detail. It's a crucial step in determining your earning potential in South Carolina. So stick around as we break down the process and make sure you're maximizing every opportunity. So without wasting time, let us get started. Meanwhile, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you are watching this video, is there any challenge you're having in the process of applying to teach in America? Do you need any advice or any help with anything? Just let me know in the comment section. You can reach out on email. The email is in the description box below, but it's right here as well. So, experience verification form. Now, this form you download from the websites of the different J1 visa sponsors that you could be pursuing. And in this one, this is actually a sample of a way to fill it out. So yeah, you can fill it out online, just by opening it up with Adobe as a PDF, and then filling out your name, your last name there, the first name, and yeah, this form must be completed by the educator. So for information on experience credit, please refer to we really don't need that right now. So your last name, first name, former name if you have. At this point, it is assumed that you are not in the US yet, so you don't have your social security number, so you can leave it blank, and your ID too. By that time, you don't have your South Carolina certificate ID, so you leave this part blank, and just your regular normal address, the one that you have in your home country. If you're watching this video from Ghana, from Nigeria, from the Philippines, from Jamaica, just wherever it is you're watching from, the process is the same. All you need to do is just fill out those information. And of course, big up to Kenyans. Yeah, thank you guys for your support on this channel. So with that said, you will have filled out this first section, and then let's look at the next one, where it says the following must be completed by the employer's HR or payroll personnel. So you want to reach out to the HR in your home country to fill this out. All right, so in this particular sample, you need to have the name of employing entity. So this sample is for Kenya. So the employing entity in Kenya is the Teacher Service Commission. And then on the type of entity, the definitions are on page 2, of course. There's no information on this form. You want to fill out whichever one. So if you have worked for a public school, then you will have to check that box. If it's a private school, you check that box. If it's an institution of higher education, you check that box as well. And then education regulatory entity, industry, or non-education based. Well, I really think that mostly it will be them three: public school or district, private school, and institution of higher learning. Now, school accreditation, if it's applicable, well, in this particular sample, it went through without having to fill this part. And then please provide a detailed record including time worked each school year, instructions available on page 2. So there is more explanation on these expectations on page 2. So in this particular sample, this is the period of each school year, and some of it I think captures the time when there was COVID, so you can see the days are reduced up to the very last minute that this teacher actually went through their education, their teaching or their work in home country. So yeah, you just capture the beginning date of service, and remember to start with the month, then day, then the year. That's actually the format for dates in the US. And end date of service, that's it. Days worked per school year, August to July. Now that is because the school year in America, actually most of them run from August to July. I said most of them in South Carolina, yes they do. Hours worked, but they just sit down and work this out. Okay? Certification required. Of course, put a yes, don't put a no. And this is if you worked in the institution of higher education, probably you're teaching in a university or college. And then position title, this teacher is a teacher, position title is a teacher, comma, the subject taught is biology major and math minor, and then the grades taught. So in the grades, if you are teaching in, say, basic levels, or that would be elementary, probably that would be the kindergarten, and then there would be the grades, the levels that we find in the elementary levels, like the kindergarten, and then the that would apply as preschool as well. So generally, if in this case it was grade 6 to 12, this is basically like middle school to high school. If it's high school, that would be grade 9 to 12. Anything lower than grade 9 would be middle school or primary school. So whatever grades, please find out more information on that, just to be able to situate or locate how you're going to fill that out. And then once you please capture them. If you have more than is needed on this, if you have more than can be captured on this, how many fields are this? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Please have page 2 of that, because you don't want to lose out on your hard-earned experience. You want to be paid for that. You deserve it, okay? So just make sure you're going through that as well. And then next, let's see what that page has. So next, you want to have your HR put a stamp or stamp it for you to make it very official, to officialize it, to make it authentic, that is your verified experience. And then the name can be printed or written, the title, the date, email address if available, the address if available, the website if available, and the phone number. So that's just basically it. If you fill this out to another page based on your experience, again, you want to print out another and have that stamped as well. Now, I want to say this. Sometimes some HRs may ask you to actually fill this part out. maybe because they're busy or something. I don't know, but they should be filling it out anyway. Right, so on the entity type definitions, this verification form for the South Carolina Department of Education defines a public school or district as a publicly funded school or school district operated at the approval of a regulating state or federal agency, organization. Now, this is loosely translated for our brothers in Africa as a government school. And then this is self-explanatory, it's a private school. And then institution of higher education is a college, a university, or any other education entity that offers coursework to adult population beyond high school. So these are the three most famous ones, most common ones. And then there is the education regulatory entity. These are state, federal, private entity that administrates or regulates education or schools. Examples include departments of education, school boards, and school accrediting bodies. And then there is service provider, an entity that provides support services to schools or districts. Examples include substitute teaching companies, special ed providers, counseling services, and education-based companies that provide consultative, administrative, or training services. If you have experience working for service providers, please add that as well to your experience verification form. There is also industry or non-education based kind of employment entities. That would be an employer that does not focus on providing education-based resources or services. Examples include trainers in private companies or industry experience related to an educator's career and technology work-based certification field. Right, so lastly, instructions for reporting experience credit. A school year is from fall semester to summer semester, August to July. Now that is according to the US South Carolina based kind of public school year. But school years in which an educator completed the same number of days and hours worked in a given position may be combined into a single line entry. So you could actually do it yearly. That is what is reflected on the sample provided here. Separate line entries should be given for partial school years worked or changes in employment positions. Let's say you worked in a public school, then you worked in a private school, then you worked in an institution of higher education. That should be separated, and probably you'll want to do that in 3 different forms, so you can have the different HRs sign that up for you. And again, if reporting experience credit completed through an IHE, list days worked as an administrative or support personnel separately from semester hours taught. Semester hours taught will be converted and added to total experience credit. That is self-explanatory. More guidelines. If a given employment position or setting does not clearly meet experience credit guidelines for acceptable teaching positions, a job description may be requested from employers. So they could actually request for a job description from an employer in a case where they don't really get clearly what the experience meets based on maybe the employment entity. Now, if a seal, stamp, or business card is not included with this form, the employer may be contacted by phone or email to verify authenticity of reported experience. So yeah, whatever details, contact details for your HR or HR personnel, make sure they are reachable on those contacts, because they could be reached out for verification, authenticity of the documents that they verified, and it comes with the experience verification form. So feel free to put a stamp or a seal where necessary, and if you got a business card, I guess that too applies. All right. Incorrect and incomplete forms will not be processed by the Office of Educator Services. There's a warning right there. Incomplete forms will not be processed, so make sure you're completing the forms. Do due diligence to your form so that you get recognized and certified and also paid for your experience. Any documents submitted in lieu to this South Carolina experience verification form must include the specific information requested on this form. If additional space is needed to list all of the educator's employment information on this form, verifiers may complete multiple copies of this form or attach a letter or chart listing additional experience entries. All your experience is welcome, okay? Especially those that add up to your teaching experience. So it's actually acceptable, just like I said, to have multiple copies, and please ensure all pages bear the verifier signature. Make sure they're all signed and return the completed forms to the Office of Educator Services. Now, if you're in the stage of applying for the job to teach with PAC, probably there's a place to attach that, so you will have this form and just download it and upload it. You'll scan this form if you filled it out by hand. If they were filled out through virtually, like online, digitally on the form, then definitely the stamp or the sign will have to be added as well. So you want to make sure you have them together. You can scan them, make sure they're very clear. This is an important document in the process, and please upload them so that you are done with this stage of the application. And I want to hope that this video has been useful to you. If you found it useful, if this video has helped you go through this process, then this is how you support EduElevate Network, by subscribing to this channel for updates on matters education, international teaching, jobs abroad, And there's a lot of exciting stuff coming up. You don't want to miss out on that. And by the way, this video is not for everyone. It could be just for one or two, help one or two, to get through this. So I want to hope that you have I want to hope that this has really come in handy. If you still got questions, please let me know in the comment section, and please send your questions as well in the email in the description box, and it's here as well. And see you in the next video. Please remember to like and share, because together we grow. It's bye for now. See you next time.